What up, what up, what up? What is happening, good people? Welcome to this live edition of Herb and Two alongside the monochromatic Toussaint Warner. My name is Herb Howard. This is where we get together and discuss issues that currently impact the black community. We talk about how those issues impact us individually, but also how they impact us collectively and along with your immense help. We talk through these issues in hopes of finding the optimum solutions for how we can overcome said issues. Again, overcome them as individuals, but perhaps more importantly, at least for the sake of this conversation, overcome them as a collective. Thank y'all so very, very much for choosing to be a part of this conversation. As always, your input is valued. It is certainly appreciated. Anything you want to add to the conversation, feel free to do so. We would kindly request that you please take a quick second to share the broadcast, share it on your personal page, share it within your personal network, share it with anybody that you think would add value to or find value in this particular conversation. Again, this is Herb and Two. It is intellectual thuggery at its absolute finest. My name is Herb. His name is Two. Two. What's happening, good brother?
What's up, family? Monochromatic, huh? I see you with the words.
I mean, you know
what I mean?
I know a word or two.
You're not even an artist that know that word. I'm impressed.
String beans, cornbread, Cadillac car. We're not as dumb as you think we is.
Okay. Okay, blessings or plug, blessings. Nah, man, I'm good money, man. How you?
Ain't nothing to it, man. Ain't nothing to it. NFL draft is coming up this week, so I get back to work tomorrow. Pre-draft press conferences at Hallis Hall, award ceremony at Hallis Hall, doing headshots for this upcoming season of credentials, which is cool because I actually lost mine. Well, it was taken from me in my car theft. Yeah, back to work this week, man. Shout out to Israel Adonijah at Signature Bar. They got a pre-draft event tonight. Actually, I'm gonna slide through there. Supposed to be like Jerry Azuma and Anthony Adams and a couple other people swinging through. So I'm gonna go swing through there, hang out with them a little bit tonight. It was a big sports weekend over the weekend too, man. NBA playoffs started. Shout out to the Bulls for being exactly who the fuck they are. They beat the brakes off of who they smoked. Atlanta. Smoked Atlanta, and then got their ass Todd to the next day to actually get in the fucking playoffs. But the teams that is in it have started. And so far, it's been a bunch of blowouts. One game was good last night, though. OKC, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, they playing, forgot who they playing, but it was a good game, though.
You realize OKC is younger than UNC as a team?
I didn't know that. I didn't know that they were the youngest number one seed in the history of the NBA playoffs.
They are younger than UNC.
So we was joking on Twitter, man. Shout out to Gino. We were joking on Twitter that it's a kid named Caleb Love, I think his name is, and he actually at Arizona now. But one of the young homies that's reported now too for the Sun Times, Cal Williams. Shout out to you, Cal. He was like, he retweeted a tweet that said Caleb Love is putting his name in the NBA draft. However, whatever he's doing, he's not forfeiting his college eligibility. And Cal said, not forfeiting his what? Because it seemed like Shorty been in college for like 12 years. So we just started joking about, because he was on the North Carolina team that like went to the championship a couple years ago. So we just started joking about how long Shorty been in college. So we like, yeah, no, he used to catch lobs from Ed Cota, and he the one assisted Jordan on the shot and all that kind of shit. Like, these shorties in school now, but
it's crazy.
It's the COVID years though. The COVID years is was why this is a unique time. The COVID years, they got all them back. So niggas got like 2.5 years back, depending on when, you know what I'm saying? So
because I'm ignorant, right? But my son be talking to me about a lot of this shit. Like, is the COVID years how they were able to reclass and all that type of stuff? Because I never knew that to be a thing. But now you got shorties reclassing up and down.
I don't know about the reclassing. I just know about the college eligibility. So usually you get 5 years to play 4, right? But I feel like some of these shorties now with the COVID years, they're getting like 7 years to play 4 or some shit like that. And so this nigga's coming into the league 33 years old now. Like, this shit getting out of hand. But yeah, I did know that the OKC was the youngest number one seed in the history of the NBA playoffs. I did not know that they were younger than North Carolina.
That sounds crazy.
That's wild. That
sounds crazy.
That's because Baycott 46.
But it's also like a reflection.
Baycott is my uncle. Word.
It's like a reflection of the world we in. But I be getting so irritated with people like, well, what do the youth think? And then when young people think, what they think matters.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I know that sounds harsh.
Right.
But you hear shit like that and you're like, wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it kind of dictates the energy of what we are, man. It's like we looking at the kids for leadership in every capacity.
No, that's real.
And I think those who are in power for real understand that the kids don't have the perspective to be real leaders, and they take advantage of it by feeding the idea that, no, it's your time.
Because they know the destination on the front end. They know it. Okay, yeah. Go ahead. Do whatever you want to do. I know you'll end up right here.
You end up right here.
I know what telling you to do what you want to do will lead.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
And we give them that power, and it's like, you know, we're in a lot of ways, like on the grounds, you start to look for the leadership through the lens of a child.
Yeah, it's like you leave your kids at home by themselves for a weekend. Like, hey, eat whatever y'all want to eat. But you done already stocked the cabinets with nothing but cookies and chips.
Under that
You
act,
know where this is going.
Under that act, bro. I said we perpetual children, but you just said something.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even think of where this happened at. Don't quote me on where. But a sister went on a Carnival cruise.
Right.
Left her 6 and 8-year-old child home alone.
That's nuts.
With a phone.
That's nuts.
And dictated over the phone like what
they supposed to do.
How you cook noodles and how you.
That is unbelievable.
Incredible, bro. So she got in trouble by, whatever the form of DCFS is in that space.
Sure.
Because they called, a neighbor called or something,
right.
Like, do a wellness check. And DCFS came in and was like, man, all they could smell was like feces and urine and, you know what I mean? But a 6 and 8-year-old, like, she legitimately was monitoring them via a phone,
That's nuts.
And they took the kids to maybe a aunt's house or something like that, and they was like, why I didn't take them in the first place? If you think about the behavior set, well, this woman would probably leave her, well, not probably, she did.
What's going on even when you are there?
Right, she probably didn't drop them off at the aunt's house 1,000 times, and I was like, man, no.
What Chris Rock say? Maybe your kids could read if they heard more words other than "mommy be back." Peace to the family, man. Q, what's good? 290's finest. Nicole Rogers is in the building.
What up, dog?
Artists be knowing shit. What's happening? Mac. She was kind enough to join us last week for Relationship Friday. A little bit more participative.
Yeah, she
on the
ad-libber. We gave her the ad-libber role. All she did was ad-lib answers.
Yeah, Glow.
Yeah, Glow. That's all she did the whole time.
Mac is back. I'm trying to get Mac to come back and do the entertainment correspondence piece more often. But
we got to start getting like some segments, man.
We do.
Like,
we got to get
funny shit be happening in the studio that we don't even talk about.
We got to get the entertainment correspondence piece. I've been wanting to bring back definitely a white person for a long time. And I just don't do the research to go find the crazy white stories to do it. But what's up, y'all? Appreciate y'all following through. What's interesting about the story you just told was my nephew, Lil E, just went to prom Friday, right? So my family was out there with him for going to prom. And so I'm talking to my other nieces and nephews about how growing up used to be, right? And so they of the age now where they like, oh, I need this, need that. And it's like, I'm telling them, like, y'all late on this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had keys to the crib at 6. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you had a key to the crib at 6. I always lost mine and got in trouble, but I had it. You know what I'm saying? Had it around my neck, and I would just lose it because I like to play with the string and do goofy shit. But yeah, we had keys to the crib. You just let yourself in. You have to make your own, after school snack or whatever the fuck it was gonna be. Cause that's just what it was. Kids nowadays, I don't know that they can be latchkey kids at 6 and 8 years old. I don't know that that's the real. You know what I'm saying?
They
BT,
can.
what up?
They can. I think it's the perspective of the parent, though.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just as guilty as anybody else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, shit, my kids 18 and 15. I'd be hard pressed to believe they took their key with them now.
No, that's true.
Like it's a problem.
That's true.
I mean?
I've been with you a lot of times.
Yeah.
They call like, how I'm gonna get in? Nigga, you have keys. No, I don't.
Yeah.
You should.
Yeah, and then now if it was my daddy, well, I guess I see you when I see you.
I guess you'll be in when somebody else get in.
Right. Because he's not going to change his day to make sure I get in the house.
Right.
You know what I mean? But then I'd be like, all right, man.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's us. We're the problem.
It's different.
You know what I mean? I said this a long time ago, but it's, again, the culture is so different, man. Like this, they permeate fear. You know what I mean? Like, I was looking at something this weekend because I got that, what's this app on my phone, man? I just got it. Damn, I can't even find it. Oh, here it is. It's The Citizen.
Oh shit.
right? And I shouldn't have this on my phone.
No,
at
you
all.
should not.
I shouldn't have it on my phone.
I don't fuck with that at all.
Right? But I was at the apartment the other day, and I heard shots. I was like, what's happening? Right?
Citizen app.
Citizen app. So it was free for the quick login, and it told me the whole story of what was happening on the very next block. On Bennett, right? I said, this is a valuable asset to have. You know what I mean?
No.
But then imagine, let's say that's 4 days ago.
Right.
Right. I'm moving around. Next thing I know, I'm at the crib on the low end.
Right.
Sex offender did not apply for it. And I'm like, damn,
shit.
he 2 seconds away. So it elevates the level of fear you have of all the threats in the community.
Cause that nigga been 2 doors away.
You know what I mean?
he there? Oh shit.
He been there forever.
Now y'all just in his window like, what is he doing? Why is he watching cartoons?
But then the very next thought is, damn, Bella can't walk home from school no more. You know what I mean? Like
I know exactly what you meant.
It's immediate. You know what I mean? Like it's immediate, bro.
Nah, I can't do those types of things, man, because it gives you a false sense that things are way worse than they've ever been. Because you could get every single crime right to your phone. Like, knock it. If you got every crime right to your phone in the 90s, your phone wouldn't do nothing else. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't ring. It wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's real.
That ain't it for me. BT said, man, these kids are retarded as fuck, respectfully. Q, I met a dude yesterday, and I forgot his name, man, but he was talking to somebody else, and he was like, yeah, I'm a master martial artist and this, that, and the third. He's a black brother around our age. I said, oh, you got to know Marquette McDonald. He's like, oh, yeah, that's one of my senseis. He won the match. He taught me walk the bam. I don't remember the brother's name because my memory just ain't shit, but some dude showed you a lot of love on the martial arts side yesterday, Q. Getting back into the sports, not only did the NBA playoffs start, hey, did you see Dame go for 35 in the first half? So I turned the TV on, and it was literally like 2 minutes left in the first half, 2 minutes left in the second quarter, and Dame had like 33. And I was like, wait, what? So I instantly started the game over. Like, I have to see him do this. They was up 30. Like, it was like 65-35 at the half. I said, hold on. So I started the game over so I can see Dame go nuts. Ape shit. 19 in the first quarter, another 16 in the second quarter.
Dame want to get out of there.
30-foot threes.
He want to get out of there.
Dame's just stressed right now.
Yeah, he's stressed, but he don't want to be there. He want to be in Miami. You know what I mean?
In Miami?
He wants to be in Miami.
With Jimmy?
He wants to be in Miami. I don't give a fuck if Jimmy there or not. He wants to be in Miami. Because of his stress level, he does not want to be in Milwaukee. It's not helping.
Who wants to be in Milwaukee for it?
True. Nobody. You know what I mean?
And I've had good times in Milwaukee.
I've never had a good time in Milwaukee.
I've got great memories in Milwaukee from Ron's Marquette days.
Yeah,
But
well, we had a different experience.
Yeah.
Right? But I got family in Milwaukee. All they do is sell drugs and gangbang. It's nothing in Milwaukee for black people.
my god sister lives in Milwaukee now, though. So I stopped through to see her end of last year. Bears was playing the Packers. So on my way back, I stopped in Milwaukee to hang out with her. She take me to some spot around I say, what is going on in here? As soon as I walk in, it's a young woman sleep on the floor / the bench. She like hanging out the bench. She on the floor, slumped. Her homegirl's like, she'll be fine. We still drinking. I'm like,
hey, Milwaukee, one of the worst places.
y'all
in the
gotta
world
take
for
her
black
home,
people,
G.
bro.
Next thing you know, she early. Motherfuckers in that twig. It was OC.
Yeah, Milwaukee's one of the worst places in the country for black people. Like, and I'm not making this shit up. Like, it's data that supports this shit. You know what I mean?
I'll be cracking in Milwaukee.
Like, when you think about, like, rates of people going to prison, when you talk about,
That's
like,
what I'm
poverty,
saying.
like, when you look at the data of Milwaukee, like, it is, even that black sheriff that they had that was out publicly maybe the last couple of years, he was, like, doing wild shit, supporting police who kill black people and all that type of shit, the Kyle Rittenhouse shit.
Oh, okay,
I think he kind of merged out of that shit. But like Milwaukee is like
it's cracking.
Alabama.
I don't mean good cracking.
1865.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It's like some different shit for black people in Milwaukee.
It's definitely OC out there. But Dame going through his divorce, he's been very public about that. His family is still back in the Northwest, so he ain't seen his kids, too much. He all the way in Milwaukee. But I don't know. He took all that shit out on whoever the fuck they playing.
Is he messing with Glorilla or something? Because they be calling her Glow Lillard.
So she posted some pictures and said some wild shit like, ooh, this my man, and I don't care who his chick is because she can't beat my ass. And so she then went to Club Shay Shay, and Unc asked her about it. You put up the picture with Dame Lillard, and so she said.
You mean Auntie asked her about it?
Wow.
I'm just saying. Wow. We got to be honest. We got to be honest.
So Shannon Sharp, they asked her.
Them. Those.
They asked her.
And salute to Shannon, man. I enjoy the show.
What was up to the post, and if if Dame hit, and she said, well, at the end of the day go in.
The day go in.
So that's where that shit came from.
That was some of the most ignorant shit I've ever seen.
You know, Shorty got a DUI down in Atlanta too.
I did, man. I thought that was very interesting because there's a video that came out after that of her failing, quote unquote, the sobriety test, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying whether she was drunk or not drunk, I don't know. But I know one thing, had that been the sobriety test they gave me, I'd have failed too, and I don't drink. You know what I mean? I thought it was real interesting, but, she hopped out of the car, her titty was out, But also, she got new titties, so her titties on the world tour.
She not used to... She had them out on Club Shay Shay. Yeah, everything but the areola was outside.
Yeah, them titties on tour. She want everybody to see these new titties.
Shay, she said, I paid good money for these. I got titties.
I got 8 titties. It's only one titty that makes an appearance. What the fuck is wrong with us, dog?
I don't know, but the DUI fucked up. And she was just on Club Shay Shay talking about something. Yeah, I don't never drive. Like, either my brother always, he's like, why you buy these cars? She's like, I just like the car, but my brother will drive or somebody will drive. I don't never drive. Mm-hmm. Somebody should have been driving that night too, Shorty.
From the perspective of the thing, she was like, my brother here, so I would assume the brother driving in. I don't know what the situation was. I just thought the whole thing was.
I like Shorty, man. I don't too much care about her music and all that because her voice is just weird. But I just like her personality. She on some my favorite little cousin type shit. Mm-hmm. So hopefully she get her shit together and stop tweaking off the DUIs. But that's easy to get. That can happen to anybody. And I heard it's real bad down in Atlanta and Georgia. And shit, I heard the DUIs be going nuts down there.
It's Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's a college town. It's a party town.
Yeah.
You catch a lot of people doing that. And other Atlanta news, man. Shout out to Morris Brown, man. Morris Brown just got their accreditation back.
I was like, who is Morris Brown? It's a university.
and what they did was they accepted the entire graduating class of Benjamin Mays High School.
Oh, that's what's up.
Benjamin Mays High School is the high school in Atlanta that Killer Mike graduated from.
Oh, that's what's up.
You know what I mean? But I just think that's like a dope gesture. One, they need the.
They need
they need the branding. Yeah. They need it's an opportunity. But in that opportunity, specifically because I'm going through, having a high school graduate right now, like that college application process, the access to schools, specifically black colleges. I just thought that was a dope move, and it's genius marketing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So salute to Morris Brown, who finally got their accreditation back. They had dropped down from like 3,000 students to like 70.
Well, I'm surprised they didn't drop to 0. What am I here for?
Yeah, that's true, but I guess they was under the auspices that we hope you're gonna get it back before we get up out of here. You know what I mean? Yeah. That was a conversation around the Kanye school. He was getting all them highly talented athletes, but he didn't have a high school accreditation.
Yeah, I went to a school out in Calabasas. Mm-hmm. This is an interesting look.
But you've been sending me them videos of the Asian kindergartens. Maybe he had an idea that was worth something.
It could have been. I'm not saying it was bad. Like I had some insider information on what was going on in there, and it seemed like they was doing good shit. But just like you said, not the administration in the school, but like just all the other shit around.
5 minutes ago, we laughing about my 18 and 15-year-old not having keys, but them kindergartners in China and Japan was cooking.
They were cooking, Jack.
Yeah, like real cook
from scratch.
From scratch.
They were not bullshit.
You think they gonna lose their key?
No.
You know what I'm saying?
They can open the key they can open the latch with their eyes.
Perspective is everything, G.
For real.
Perspective is everything.
Nah, they was getting to it, man. They was teaching them at a very early age how to be self-sufficient. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Self-reliant. They would not have been on the phone FaceTime their mama from the ship talking about how I do this.
I do this. Yeah, I already know how to make bread from scratch.
Bread.
I'm going to bake this yeast.
Go ahead on. Rolling it, all that shit, beating it. They was getting busy.
America's in trouble.
And these were little kids. These weren't like, these was little kids.
Yeah, and they wasn't even cooking on the stove. It was like some outside, we made the fire to cook.
I got this.
I got this.
Yeah,
we're in trouble, dog.
It's different, G. It's different.
I am not smarter than the 5th grader, G. It's a problem. It's a real problem
out here. It's a problem out here, son. Yeah. Devin Haney had some problems this weekend.
Hey, shout out to Bill Haney, bro. I just want to say that.
His daddy?
Yes. Because I love the
his daddy
fact
pop shit, Joe.
that he talks the way he talks. And I love the fact
that Devin got to
hated
cash the
off.
check.
I do. I love it. Like, because now you got to come back from that, right? And I'm waiting on that. Like,
Hey,
how do
Pops,
you come back from the shit
shut
you
the
took?
fuck up.
Shut up, cuz.
I have to fight him.
Right.
You are not fighting him.
The fuck
He like, we gonna punish him. Who is we, white man? What are you talking about, we? I got such a bad crook in my neck.
His ass whooped, bro.
I disagree, but he did lose.
Wait, you don't think he got his ass whooped?
I don't think he got his ass whooped.
What do you
no.
think happened? Did you see the fight?
I saw it from start to finish, every punch.
Oh, okay. Well, explain your perspective.
I thought it was a close fight. I know he got knocked down 3 times. I get that.
That makes it unclose.
That does not make it unclose. That's the same misconception that the people I was watching the fight with had. So they watching the fight and they like, he down 100 points. I'm like, no, he's not. In fact, they went in, I'm like, they going into this 12th round tied. And they like, hell no. And so you know how they do the unofficial scorecard, they put up on the screen every time, it's like time, like we spent the whole 12th round arguing, like, how is it time? Like, nigga, I've been telling y'all that it's about the scoring of the fucking fight. Devin Haney won more rounds. Dude caught him 3 times, knocked him down, so you're supposed to get 10-8s for those. But one of those 10-8s turned into a 9-8 because he lost a point for throwing a punch while the ref was breaking up a little grapple situation. So, like, the points, the scorecard wasn't that far apart. I don't care how you saw it, what you watched. I compared it to, like, if you playing a basketball game, a nigga get dunked on 3 times, it don't mean that you blowing him out. You dunked him 3 times. So what? He hit 3 mid-ranges. It don't fucking matter.
He was in the comments talking about, yes, Herb. I get the point scoring. I understand all that.
That's all that matters.
But optics matters, bro.
No, it doesn't. It can matter to you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It don't matter to them 3 judges.
The optics is he got his ass.
It wasn't even a unanimous decision.
The man left with a jaw dislocated.
It doesn't matter, bro. It wasn't even a unanimous decision.
Well, I only
it
saw
was
the
a split
highlights.
decision.
Don't talk shit. I just only saw the highlights.
Yeah, it was like Buddy won the first round. Devin won like the next 4 or 5 rounds.
Ryan Garcia.
And then by 7, Ryan Garcia caught him with his left, like he catch everybody with his left, dropped him.
He ain't catch Tank.
No, because Tank caught him with a body shot. Like, Tank too close. You know what I'm saying? But Tank is cool to walk. Tank will walk through your shit. You know what I'm saying? Because he know I'm only 4'11". My arms is this long. I have to get in here. But if I do and get one off, you're gonna fall. And that's what happened to Ryan Garcia. So that's what would happen to you.
Probably not.
But nah. So like, the fight it wasn't. People look at the highlight. It's this highlight generation.
I only saw the highlight.
No, I feel you, but it's the highlight generation, right? So like, Shorty got to be #1 in the country. Why? Because you seen him put on 3 dunks on the highlight tape. Shorty huff as hell. You go see him playing for real. Like he can't even hoop. You know what I'm saying? But it's the highlight generation. And motherfuckers like, oh, he dropped him 3 times. He did. That's true. You give him all the credit. He did win the fight, but he won the fight by the exact score I thought he won the fight by. He won that last round. That was it. Like, you know. So, but Devin Haney, he had to cash the check that his father wrote, and they need to shut the fuck up, man.
And I saw the other highlight. One is the back and forth between his daddy Bill and what's my man name? Fighter from I think he's from Philly. Bernard Hopkins.
Boots? Oh, okay.
No. So when he wins the fight, Bernard Hopkins comes in and it was like
yeah, he was all with Ryan Garcia talking shit.
Yeah. So it was just Allah Akbar. I think he came in there and said, but through the fight process, the press conferences and everything, Garcia was like, you know, praise Jesus and Jesus and Jesus, you know what I mean?
Hey.
So they was kind of building up this kind of marketing ploy of like, kind of like Ali and Frazier or Ali and George Foreman when it was Ali because he's a Muslim and, you know, George Foreman was this God-fearing, you know, Jesus priest. You know
he did get dropped 3.5 times.
He did get dropped, G. He got knocked down. And again, I only saw the clips, so I don't know. But in the clips, it looked like he was getting his ass whooped.
Yeah, that's just not true. But I mean, he did get dropped 3.5 times because I think the ref called like 2 falls of slips. Like he had 2 more that could have been knockdowns. One was definitely a slip. One actually might have been a legit knockdown.
Caught him with an elbow in the corner with one of them knockdowns. I peeped that. I don't think, again, from the highlights, it didn't look like the ref caught that either.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know, they was talking shit after the fight.
Right.
About who he wanted to see. Right. And
who? Ryan Garcia?
Yeah. And he was like, man, he ain't giving that motherfucker no rematch. That shit was a cakewalk. You know, he was talking cash shit.
That was cap.
You know what I mean? But then in the midst of that, he was like, man, somebody was like, bring on Boots. And he was getting to talking shit about Boots riding. Then he doubled back like, no, I don't really want that smoke. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Boots, none of them want Bud. Like, none of them want Bud.
None of them want that smoke.
Like, let's just leave Bud out of the conversation.
Yeah, everybody's scared.
So you could talk Boots, Tank, Shakur. right? Devin Haney has always been in the conversation. He took a hit on this one, right? But Boots, Tank, Shakur, and Ryan Garcia. And if I had to choose between them, I like Shakur, but Tank can beat anybody with one punch. And that's that he always dangerous. Hey, you guys want to do something with these cameras?
I was about to text him like, what is y'all on, man? You know what I mean? God damn.
They are pity patting.
Something, man. I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm sending text while you talking. Like, what the fuck is y'all doing? God.
I done made 8 good points. No, I ain't said shit.
Right. Yeah, they don't want Bud.
Bud on some other shit. Because what he did to Errol Spence, and Errol Spence is Errol Spence, G.
Yeah, that's right.
It's not just some dude he never lost in his life. He'd never been knocked down in his life. Bud said, let me introduce you to the carpet several times. Sit your goof. Now you talking about somebody who looked bad. He left the ring with another nigga face.
Yeah, he left the ring with brain damage.
Yes.
Matter of fact, I think he came into the ring.
He already had brain damage from the car accident.
Yeah, I think he came into the ring with brain damage. I think that was
his speech is still slurred and impaired.
I think he should stop fighting.
He probably should.
He probably should have stopped fighting before he even met Bud.
No,
I'm still serious.
No, for real.
I think that brain damage was compounded when he left that ring.
And Bud was trying to be nice to him.
Yeah.
Like Bud could have killed him in that ring.
He could have killed him in that ring.
He could have. If he dies, he dies in that ring.
If he dies, he dies.
You know what I'm saying? Like he could have did him under that act. Fortunately, he did not. But Devin Haney got time to bounce back. It wasn't as bad a loss as it looked like, but he definitely lost. Shout out to Ryan Garcia for getting his win.
Yeah, that's real, man. But it's G. Like I said, I want to see how Bill Haney reacts. G. I swear to God, he's comedy to me. G. He's like LeVar Ball. He's like that hype man is necessary. Like he gets you that fight.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Without that, I don't even get that fight. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it's also like when you got to eat them words.
That's tough, dog.
Yeah, I get.
You get pleasure out of that?
I do. I do. I cannot lie.
You get a little pleasure out of that?
I do, man. I like ego, but I also like it in check. You know what I mean? You check it every now and again.
Hey, checks and balances.
Myself, you know what I'm saying?
Checks and balances.
You got me there.
Checks and balances.
You know what I'm saying? You got me there.
Another father that's coming into the picture as being one of those types of dads is Caleb Williams' father. Caleb Williams is going to be the #1 pick in the draft. He's going to be the Bears starting quarterback this year out of USC. His father, by some reports, is one of those overbearing, ever-present fathers, you know what I'm saying, on the sideline for no reason type shit. And now he's coming here. I'm going to be very interested to see just how he interacts. You know, so I can't wait to meet him, actually. Like, I just want to see, like, are you really like this? Are you really this LeVar Ball-ish character, or is people just putting that on you because you've been so supportive of your son since he was like 9 years old?
So we was talking before the cameras came on, and I think he has to be, right? Just from the story of who Caleb Williams is. Like, you don't get that story without somebody who's overly invested in your success.
Heavily invested.
Heavily invested. I guess, yeah. Some levels is, I say over. I still want to stay with over.
So I might go overly present. I won't never say overly invested, but overly present. Like I'm saying, like, why are you on the sideline? Get your ass up there. You know what I'm saying? Like, once you gave him to this school or these coaches, go ahead on. You talk to that nigga after the game. Why are you over here? You know what I'm saying? Why are you at the practices and all this shit? Like, you know what I'm saying? But people allow you to do that because you have this elite talent. And so people going to, make the backup.
They gonna make concessions.
The third string right guard father can't come to practice, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's different. So,
you and I got different perspectives on Caleb Williams.
Right.
Like, I think as a player, like what he's shown thus far is, he's Caleb Williams.
The tape is the tape.
Knock it, you know what I mean?
Right.
But we both was talking about an interview we saw. Shout out to the Pivot.
The Pivot. Yeah.
And I love the Pivot too, man. Shout out to them just in general.
Yeah, I like all three of them dudes.
Conversations around sports.
Yeah.
You know. But he was on the most recent episode of the Pivot, and you came in here with a different perspective than I came in here with, right? You saw him, you was like, man, I was really intrigued by the way he was answering and dealing, and he got some shit on him that I think has a lot of value. I came away with the opposite perspective. You know what I mean? And in that pivot, that's why I said overly invested. That's the perspective I came with.
Mm-hmm.
He talks about the investments that his people have made in him to become Caleb Williams.
Right.
He also talked about his perspective on the outcomes of sport, right? The reason why I say I don't think he has it, and you know, I can't speak to why you say you think he does, but it's almost like he's a machine, right? And from a very young age, he's been trained to be the machine.
Absolutely.
But what I saw in the nuances in the conversation is that he is the machine, but he does not have, let's say, the spirit of a sportsman, in my opinion. Right? It's more about what the outcomes of the machine is supposed to do. And I think that and whether it be sports or anything, I just think when you're fully vested or fully interested and love some shit, it ain't just the machine outcomes. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Like, on one hand, I'm feeling Tim Duncan when I hear from dude. You know what I'm saying? But then on the other hand, it's like, that shit is bound to short circuit.
Interesting that you said Tim Duncan. He actually referenced Tim Duncan in the interview. He was like, man, off the field, I'd rather just get away. He like, I can't wait to retire and go live somewhere else like Tim
Be out
Duncan.
of the way of this shit.
And he was like Tim Duncan. And so I could see that, like, so the tape is the tape. We've seen the kid play. He's got elite level talent. What I was worried about was who he was. I had no real way of getting a sense of who he was outside of some reports here, some reports there. And from the people I talked to that have been around him enough, I was getting mixed reports. I've got mixed reports about his father. I got mixed reports about him. But just hearing him sit down and talk for an hour plus, it all came together. It all made sense, right? The totality of the story of him starting to play early, telling his dad he wanted to play quarterback after they lost a big game and he wasn't playing offense. And his dad like, are you sure? And he's like, yeah, that's what I want to do. And his daddy then investing in him in that way. Now his father has been a successful real estate developer for 30-something years.
His life.
You know, all his life. And so I didn't realize how privileged Caleb Williams was. I knew he was privileged in some ways. He went to Gonzaga, you know, college prep, Catholic private school. But he could have got a scholarship for that. But he lived in Maryland. Gonzaga's in D.C. His parents got him an apartment his entire high school career. And he lived by himself so that he wouldn't have to take this commute that could be up to an hour and a half depending on traffic back and forth every day. So from 14 to 18, he said, I had an apartment dolo in D.C. He was like, so this idea, like when I got out here to L.A., like being on my own, that shit wasn't really new to me.
And the nuance of that, right? I don't want to skip this because the reason they even got to that conversation was when the pivot cast comes in. It's like, damn, man, NIL is good to you.
You could tell that condo.
The condo was beautiful.
Was
the
nuts.
view was beautiful, right? But what Caleb said though, he's like, man, this ain't really much different than my high school apartment. So not only did he have an apartment, if they came in, these are professional athletes with professional athlete money.
Yeah.
And they was taken aback by that condo. And he doubles down and says it wasn't much different than the one I had in high school other than how high up it was.
Right.
Not only was he living in his own apartment, be clear, he was living downtown D.C. Nigga.
No, it had to be though, right?
Yeah, it had to be.
I mean, first of all, just to leave your 14-year-old alone in D.C., it ain't in the hood. You know what I'm saying?
Well, D.C. is the hood, mostly.
Yeah, but his pockets where it ain't. Right. You know what I'm saying? His apartment was probably in Georgetown or some shit like that. Yeah. But either way, no, I walked away impressed by just his understanding of who he is and his journey he set out on a long time ago. And I wanted to win the Heisman since I was 9. Check, won it. I wanted to be the #1 draft pick in the NFL in this class. In 2024, I wanted to be #1 pick in 2024. He's about to check that box in a couple of days. And so, you know, I just walked away impressed with his sense of understanding, his journey, his mission, his goals. And he talked about the type of teammate that he is. And that's always been a concern of mine because he's always been such a bright star that it can outshine everything else as far as the team concept. USC didn't win that much collectively last year. They was like 7-5. They had a better year the year before when he won Heisman. But, you know, what's your ability to raise your team as opposed to you just making these highlight plays? And he talked about that and, what his teammates mean to him and some of the things he's done just to, keep the camaraderie going. We'll see how that plays on the NFL level, man. But I was impressed.
I say this out loud, but I want to say it out loud so bad.
Well, it's too late. You got to say it now.
I think he's a homosexual. Not that matters, right? No, I'm so serious.
Well, he talked about his girlfriend, his beard.
Yeah, you heard that. His beard. It was a beard for sure, right?
For sure.
But it was definitely a beard, right? But this goes into the nuance of why I don't think he's who we think he is, right? And again, I know this is not the right thing to say, but I'm me and I can't help myself.
My nature, dog.
It's my nature, dog. I can't help myself, right? But even in the Tim Duncan conversation of like how his approach is Tim's perspective, I want to be like Tim Duncan and just get away from this. I don't think that's true. I don't think you fully identified who you are, Caleb. I personally think that even being the star that you are is also part of that beard. You know what I mean? You're hiding behind the true identity of who you want to be.
You are Channing Crowder.
Whatever. I don't care.
Channing said, I don't like that nail paint shit. He's like, I said it behind your back, I'm going to tell you in your face. I don't like that nail paint shit.
I'm tell you your face. He does the nail paint. He got a girlfriend that lives in Europe. A beard.
That he used to know.
That he used to know for 6 years.
Hey, I need you to just come be my girlfriend.
It's a beard, right? And I'm not mad at none of that, right? But in this era of be yourself, be who you are, be that, right? And I think what happens is he's found.
I think the nails is as far as he can go. I don't think he can come out and be like, I also suck dick.
Yeah, he can't come out and say that, right? He can't come out and say I also suck dick.
I don't think
You're right. You know what I mean? Max ain't jump out the bag.
You do jump out the bag every
But it
time.
has some value.
Hey,
I told y'all puppies go to jail 10 years before y'all do it. I'm telling y'all, Caleb's gay. And I ain't mad at it. Be who you want to be, cuz. But I think that's going to be the trigger of when we find out how good he could be. And I think when he's going to get a check and finally get away from his daddy, be like, I don't want to do this anymore. I really want to do Broadway all my life. And I'm out. I think that's exactly what's going to happen.
He's going to pirouette off the field.
He's going to pirouette off the field. I swear to God. And I ain't mad. Be free, Caleb.
Hey, come on, man.
Can you deny? Just think about what I just said.
I don't know.
We don't know, but does it have any validity?
I have no idea.
He got a European beard, bro. You're the biggest star in college football.
I'm gonna meet this kid in like 3 days. I'm gonna meet this kid. Don't put this on my jacket. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. The man said he had a girlfriend.
Herb doesn't know. Two does.
Okay. I have no idea.
We're going to mark this as things two got right with the puppy case.
All right.
You know what I
mean? In 3 days, I'll meet the man and I'll
right after the rookie contract up, that boy
I'll ask him.
Moving to Europe.
Your ass is crazy, dog.
I think it makes sense, Jay. I think it makes sense. Hey, man, Brandon Johnson just gave the migrants $70 million, another 70.
Another 70 piece?
Another 70. That's what, 370 mil. So look, man, I got my Illuminati tap this weekend. Right, I was at Operation Push. Rev was there. Now Rev has been there with me being there several times. But Rev is in his he's on the back end position of transitioning possibly. Right?
Sure.
And we be having these conversations or whatever. The last several times I come, and Rev acknowledges everybody because he Rev, but he don't know my name.
Right.
I've never known him to think he knows my name. Right, so we was in his last conversation, and I was doing what Max said. I jumped out the window. I couldn't take it. You know what I mean? And I realized I got to deal with my personality. There's something about my personality that people don't hear me. They hear my tone. You know what I mean?
Right.
I be thinking I be making all the sense in the world, and everybody around me be angry.
It's funny because we were just talking about the pod, before the cameras came on, and he was like, I think it's too emotional. I think motherfuckers got too many feelings in it. You and Ron, I'm like, what y'all mean by feelings? Because I thought, Ron explained it, but I thought you was talking about like motherfuckers be emotional about the shit you saying, like, because your presentation sucks. That's why.
So fuck them. Right?
Exhibit A, y'all.
Whatever. You know what I mean? But my point is, I immediately recognized that everybody in the room was irritated by what I thought it was what I said, but it's usually not what I say. It's usually how they perceive who I am, right? But I don't give a fuck about that. I'm not saying that's the greatest quality. Maybe I got to, learn a little bit about that. But either way, though, I said the shit, And Red was like, who's this nigga? You know what I mean? So for the rest of the conversation, I didn't say, hey, man, Rev, I'm Tucson. But he was like, Tucson, come here. The conversation's going on. He don't give a fuck what y'all talk about no more. He just wants to talk to Tucson in his ear. This happened like 10 times, right? So I was like, that's interesting. You know what I mean? So then the meeting was over, whatever, and I'm talking to somebody else in the security, and, you know, Rev's in a wheelchair now. So they rolling Rev out to the elevator, going down to his car with the security. I'm still in the meeting room. He's at the elevator space. The man yells out, Tucson, come with me. I got my Illuminati tab. I'll tell you what happened after that. But the game is afoot. We in the Illuminati now. But I say all that to say, the only reason I brought that up on the back of the $70 million that Brandon Johnson gave, right? Part of that conversation and what people got angry at me about is like we're talking about issues that affect our community, actionable steps to kind of, you know, counter those issues. For me, there is no other issue other than, specifically from a civic space perspective, is reparations. Now, that's the umbrella to all of the needs in my mind. When you start breaking down the needs and not dealing with the overall or the overlapping or the umbrella concept, you short yourself in the negotiation. The negotiation is reparations. What happens under that is what happens under that. But without this umbrella conversation, the rest of this shit is a waste of my time. And I think that because it's such a looming large concept, people are afraid of the word reparations. You know what I mean? But for me, it's the only applicable conversation to have in regards to black life and black political commitments. Right? So again, back to the 70 million Chicago's going to give the immigrant population for the 370 million they've given in that whatever amount of time that they've been here. There was a conversation that happened in City Hall the other day, and it's been like making its rounds. It's even gone viral. P. Ray was in it. She's got a little viral clip, and there's another sister that's in it that's, you know, threatening some of the aldermen on where they stand. And I was just looking at it, and I was like, man, like, I was looking at the level of theater and theatrics, and not knocking P. Ray, not knocking the other sister, but let's look at Chicago as what Chicago is, right? Chicago has the blackest electorate in America. You know what I mean? And we got a black mayor. We got, I can't remember the exact number to date, but I think it's something like 22 black aldermen. It's either 18 or 22. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on the number. Right? But in regards to like what quote unquote black politics should look like, we the poster children. You know what I mean? But black life in Chicago fucking sucks. From that perspective, you know what I mean? And part of my conversation is like, what does black identity mean in the context of the needs for our communities? Right. You know what I mean? So here you are having the automatic meeting where they're announcing, you know, this new budgetary commitment to immigrant population, and you got all these black folks standing up like, fuck this, fuck this, fuck this. But then with all the same people who elected, the people saying, no, we with this, we with this, we with this. Right. You know what I mean? Right. And it's like counterintuitive. And I was just looking at the dynamic of the audience and the motherfucking decision makers. You know what I mean? And again, for me, it was some personal shit. How I presented in this meeting with all these black people who seemingly want the best for black people. And again, I say some shit and it's like, I offended everybody. Now again, might be presentation, but sometimes I think, like, is that enough? Like, is that enough to just get lost in translation? Can we deem because somebody's presentation isn't what you're comfortable with, is that enough to shut the door on what you actually need?
Nah, and I've always been like that, man. Like, even just going back to like playing football, I will always tell my more emotional, sensitive teammates, hey, don't worry about how coach is saying that to you. Like, just listen to what he's trying to tell you, bro. Like, you mad because he's yelling and cussing. That don't mean shit, bro. Get to where he's telling you to get to and use the steps he's telling you to get there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always, presentation ain't ever, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? As much about the messenger as I do the message. You know what I'm saying? And so, shit, I had some shit with my family this weekend. We was, you know, all joking and talking shit, and then I had to apologize. Like, hey, we was just fucking around. You know what I'm saying? So I don't, whatever. You know what I'm saying? How you digest it is how you digest it. You know what I'm saying? I get that piece. But I think the issue here isn't that part of it. I think it's what you said about the black people who are complaining while simultaneously electing the people who are signing off on this shit. And I think the problem is because we don't really engage in the process that way, we elect the people that are familiar. Oh, I know that name. I remember that name from last time. And the person that's signing off on it, they just want to stay there again. So they're going to go along and get along in their position, and we're going to keep them there merely because we remember their name from last time. And the only reason they're there from last time and this time is because they going along and get along, which don't include Joe Black ass. You know what I'm saying? So, like, on the surface, we think they looking out for black people, but they looking out for the black person in the mirror and maybe the black people in their crib. But the black collective, nah. I see y'all at election time again.
That's the electorate, but I think those same ideas play out in corporate. I think those same ideas play out in our community, right? It's like, you know, you hard pressed to give your nephew the plug at your job because you don't want your nephew representing you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm afraid of who you gonna be in this job. You might fuck it up for me, right? So I think that's a personality archetype in our community because we don't have any kind of like unifying bonds. You know what I mean? Yeah. But again, for me, like I said, it was just very interesting to watch that play out and to see that it's going viral and to see people champion, and they wasn't championing P-Ray, they was championing the sister who got behind P-Ray and spoke. And not to say that she didn't have any validity in what she was talking about, but what went viral was the theatrics of how she was having the conversation. You know what I mean? And it brought me to this point of the Shakespearean quote where it's like, you know, all the world's a stage and every actor plays a part, right? It's very difficult for us to get behind an idea and champion an idea. What we do is we get behind personality archetypes and we champion personality archetypes. So even in the context of how you said, oh, that name sounds familiar, well, them people are performers. You know what I mean? Like I asked the other day about Jedediah, like why do we engage Jedediah in the way that we engage Jedediah? You know what I mean? And I'm not shitting on Jedediah, don't be clear. I think Jedediah has some value, right? But there's levels and stages to Jedediah. There's levels and stages to Jamal Green. There's levels and stages to all these youth upstarts. And I could say the same thing for me, and I could probably say the same thing for Jesse Jackson, Mr. Faircon. You know, you can go down the line, but it only, for me, like the Jedediah conversation was relevant because of what's going on out there in Dalton right now.
Right.
And he's becoming like a figurehead of that conversation.
Sure.
And I came in here and I think we had a conversation like off air. I might have had a little bit of it on air. I was like, man, why do motherfuckers let Jedediah talk to them the way he be talking to people? Because if it
we
was
talked about it on the show. Remember, Guard is called in and shit.
If it was me, we'd be far beyond whatever this issue is, and I'm about to fuck you up.
That's interesting. From you, specifically.
What do you mean?
Because your presentation is very disregarding of how you feel about how I'm saying something. It's just what I'm saying. And so I'm surprised that you would so quickly take offense to the tone over the message.
So I don't think it's the same.
All right.
Right? And I think what happens with, again, that's why I specifically focus on Jedediah. I don't purposely go in to disrespect people.
Okay.
Now, I might disrespect your perspective on an idea. And even that, in my mind, is your internal perception of how you hear what I'm saying. You know what I mean? The idea might sound like shit to me. That don't mean you're a shit person. I think, at least from my perspective and what I've been hearing, he attacks people, not the idea. And once we start doing that shit, it's personal.
It's personal.
And I'm gonna fuck you up. Like the barriers have been removed. And part of the conversation I had with, I don't even think it was with guards, it was with somebody else, and it was definitely a personal conversation because the person has personal relationships with Jedediah. I know Jedediah too, and I'm not again, I want to be clear, it's just, what's the word I want to use here? It's like, it's the environment accepts this type of shit. It's what we do, right? So when Jedediah, as he elevates, it becomes more and more personal and less idea driven.
I ain't talked to Jedediah in a minute, man. We should probably have him on the show just to talk to him. I ain't talked to him actually like face to face or even at all.
I ain't spoke to him in a minute
I ain't
either.
talked to him in a minute.
But even the personal conversation I had with somebody who's very personally vested in Jetty, I had to ask. I was like, man, do you think that sexuality shit is a part of why he gets away with that? And they was like, absolutely. And, you know, without demeaning said community, we know that the men in that community do have the kind of mouths that
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And as a heterosexual man,
That
it's
you would
like,
typically allow a woman to get away with.
you allow a woman to do that shit, but
Right.
you ain't allowing too many
Men
to do
to
that
pop
shit.
off in your face like that.
Right.
Right.
And as a man, when you get confronted with that by another man, you got two choices. You walk the fuck away, or you whoop their ass.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens in a society where whooping their asses and that's the
not
right
an
thing
option.
to do, it's not an option. It's like, man, go on with that goofy shit.
But then it prevails.
But then it prevails.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's just a very interesting dynamic to me.
Nah, I feel you on that. I think he for the theater, he sets a lot of fires. You know what I mean? And sometimes they need to be set, sometimes maybe not. But either way, did you see this shit that happened in Chicago with the lash tech and her client, where the client set the lash tech's car on fire because she couldn't squeeze her in for an appointment that day?
No, I didn't see that, but I saw what you just did there. He sets a lot of fires. Did you see the
I
fires?
tried. It wasn't great.
I see you, G. You cold, bro.
It wasn't great.
Get
it wasn't
ready for
great.
the bear season. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm just working some shit out. You
Just
know?
working some shit out.
That's it.
It's like
You know?
stand-up.
Yeah,
You
getting
know
some
what I'm
reps
saying?
up. That's
Get
it.
some reps
You know what I'm
up.
saying?
You know
Just getting some
what I'm
reps up.
Just get my practice in.
Um,
So tell me about the, was it lash tech?
Woman wants to get her lashes done for whatever reason. I don't know why anybody wants to get that done. I had to just throw that shot in there 'cause I hate it. Yeah, cumbrellas.
That's what they call them. Do you know that was the original design of fake lashes, though? That's what they were designed for?
Knock it off.
I'm not even playing.
Knock it off.
I'm not playing. It's a European design. I'm sure they had a real history of it.
To catch semen on your face.
Come, brothers.
Knock it off, son.
Okay.
Um,
Do the knowledge.
Okay. Now that's what your eyelashes are for, to keep things out of your eyes, particles and debris. So
This is gonna be one of them
theoretically,
segments. When we say we gotta do segments, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start researching like the real history of
certain shit.
Like, why does
Did
this
you
exist?
know?
Did you know?
Like the rule of thumb. You know what the rule of thumb comes from?
No.
It used to be legal for men to hit their wives with any stick as long as it wasn't larger than their thumb.
You know where piss poor comes from?
I think I know where piss poor comes from because I've seen that whole video and I was like, I don't know if dude is making this up or if it's real, but if he's making it up, it's brilliant because it was like 10 of them he went through.
So piss poor comes from, they used to dye animal skins with urine, human urine,
Right.
right? So people who were poor would pee in a pot and take it to get money because they would use that to dye the animal skins for fabrics and clothes or whatever.
Right.
Right. So piss poor. You were so poor that this is how you made your money. And if you didn't have a pot,
You ain't got a pot to
you
piss
ain't got a
in.
pot to piss in.
Or if you lived in a cabin, you didn't have a window to throw it out of.
See, we got to do a historical.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know where this comes
Yeah,
from?
yeah, we got, okay, I'm cool with that. I'm
Yeah.
cool with that. But yeah, so I forgot what we was on. I don't even remember what we was talking about. Oh, lashes, okay. So one sister's trying to get her lashes done. Sister like, yo. 'cause
And these are Chicago women.
Chicago. It's a whole text thread. They got the whole text thread out there on like Chicago media takeout or whatever. So she like, hey, can I get it in? And she like, nah. Now there was one, as I was reading the text message, there was a little bit confusing point where it seemed like the last text was like, all right, you can come now on some hurry up shit. But I don't know. Either way, the sister was like, it take me an hour to drive here. And I was like, where you live did it take you an hour to go to your lash tech? But whatever. When she gets there, lash tech, I don't got no spot for you. Like, my client got here. She's like, okay, cool. I'll just wait. And if your next client late, you can get me there. She's like, well, my next client already sitting here waiting. She's like, well, I can be next then. So you're like, nah, I'm booked up for the day. Like, I can't fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? Oh, girl, like, I'm going out of town tomorrow, and bitch, you acting weird, and last time you did this shit, and then you came back and apologizing, and now here you being weird again. Right, she's like, I gave you a pass last time because I was pregnant. So I ain't gonna give you no pass this time. I'm gonna beat your ass.
I gave you a pass?
Yeah, I gave you a pass last time when you was acting all weird because I was pregnant. So I ain't pregnant no more. You ain't getting no pass this time. So, oh girl, like, look how you talking to me. Like, go ahead, I'm not going back and forth with you. I don't have no space. I don't have no slots. Take your regular eyelashes ass on somewhere, right? And so, Shorty said, all right. She's like, I ain't gonna be the only one pissed off. You gonna be pissed off too. You gonna see. She took a can of gasoline to Shorty car, threw a match, set her shit on fire. About some eyelashes, dog. Or is it the perceived disrespect?
I don't think it's neither, right? Like, I didn't know that story. But I've talked about this before. The book, The Tipping Point by Malcolm Gladwell, right? And it's a part of that book where he compares, like, uber wealthy people and uber poor people to having the same personality archetypes. Right. He says the uber wealthy people, because they get everything at their disposal, they have an expectation of entitlement.
Sure.
Right. He said the same thing happens to uber poor people because they don't get anything, so they don't even have the expectation. So if it resonates still in the entitlement way. It's a very interesting dynamic the way he spoke about this shit, right? And I don't know the sister, you know, but if you in Chicago and you black and you go into a Lash Tech, you're probably poor. You know what I'm saying? You're an asshole, because that was not meant to be funny. I swear to God, it wasn't. But it probably resonates from that culture and that environment.
So I think we're all varying degrees of poor. So, okay, but I think there's some people who ain't struggling for their next meal or their next rent that wear eyelashes.
Even if they have a couple of dollars in their pocket, they have a very poor mentality.
That I agree with.
You understand what I'm saying?
That I tend to agree with.
Maybe poor is a mental space. I don't fucking know, but it's poor.
It's poor morally.
Poor. You operate in the space of lack, obviously. You understand what I'm saying? So I think that entitlement shows up in the space. That shit's crazy,
Whole leaf
bro.
on that. I hate it so bad.
But that shit shows up in that level of entitlement. You know what I mean? And now it's hyper because we live in this kind of social media driven kind of world where, you know, motherfuckers is entitled. You have a conversation with a young person, bro. Like, their perspective on shit is warped in a motherfucker to me. You know what I mean? And just as a country, like, we're cutting out access to opportunity. So if we go back to the Malcolm Gladwell shit where it's like, you create the same personality archetypes by having and not having. Like, if you have too much and if you don't have enough, like, we're growing a whole society that don't have an expectation for a future other than, let's say, I be a YouTuber. You know what I mean? So what does that mentally create? And then you put that shit on hyperdrive from a motherfucker that's coming from, like, real degradation and real impoverished communities, and that entitlement becomes super. You know what I mean? So, yeah, what you mean you can't fucking fit me in?
Yeah.
I'll burn this bitch to the ground because I'm me.
That's crazy.
It's
crazy. And it's on camera.
It's crazy, bro.
Like,
and you send a fucking text message, right? You're on camera.
You're on camera.
Your car up,
plus the text.
Like,
with the threats.
Was them lashes worth going to the penitentiary? Because that's
going to jail.
You're going to jail, little puff daddy. You know what I'm saying? Want to burn up people's cars.
You are going to
Didn't Puffy do that?
To one of them artists?
Yeah, Puffy, Jake. Yeah, little Puffy, you going to jail, little mama.
She is going to jail.
That's crazy.
That shit was OC, dog. OC. Another act of pyrotechnics. White dude in New York.
That shit was wild, bro. I was watching that shit live, G. Shout out to the reporters from CNN, though, the sister specifically. Because the first thought was it was an active shooter.
Right.
And she was like, there's an active shooter reporting.
Right.
We gotta get the fuck up out of there.
These motherfuckers be too dedicated to their job.
Dedicated.
You be too dedicated to this shit, Joe.
They too dedicated, cuz. But then, yeah, homie burnt himself up. Like, he threw up some flyers or some shit in the air, then he burnt himself up. And the reporter was like, no, actually, it's not an active shooter. It's somebody that's on fire. I said, God damn. Are you too tapped in or are you disconnected? Like, it was wild to me to watch that shit live.
The man set himself on fire outside the courthouse where Donald Trump trial is going on.
He had a point to get off that was burning his soul?
Clearly.
That's not funny.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not funny.
Yes, it is. He did it to himself. He didn't catch it on fire. He set himself on fire. Like,
that's not funny.
That is hilarious, dog.
Hey, man, we living in some strange times, dog.
The old girl lighting her last check car on fire, not funny. Buddy lighting himself on fire, hilarious. Fuck are you doing, sir? And he died.
Neither of them funny. Yeah, he died.
What are you on, G? I don't care that much about anything.
Well,
anything, my nigga.
Well, maybe that's why we at the lowest ring on the totem pole, too, though.
Because I won't set myself on fire about this shit?
Yeah.
I've said many times I'll die about this shit. I'll get killed behind this shit. Set myself on fire about this shit? Well, absolutely fucking not.
Well, what we saw was his commitment. Right? We talk a lot of shit, but when it's time to commit, you can see commitment. He was committed.
I'll die for this shit is one thing. I'll set my own self on fire and die for this shit. Next level, my boy.
He was committed.
You don't even know if it succeeded.
That's kind of the point.
You gone.
I already won because of my commitment.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I won or lost, but I was committed. I know that.
What he thought was, as soon as it happened, somebody gonna extinguish me, and then
Now, he didn't thought that.
I give me a couple second degrees.
No, he fully
and I'll
planned to
be
die out
okay.
there. He fully planned to die out there, bro. He did not think a motherfucker was gonna show up with an extinguisher. You do not show up with a flame and an accelerant thinking somebody's gonna put me out.
Motherfuckers just got an extinguisher on their keychain.
Yeah, it don't work that way. You came here to die today. You know what I mean? And he succeeded.
His ass
you know what I mean?
tweaked, over tweaked.
Yeah, he succeeded, man. But again, right? And I mean,
You said a few people done it throughout history,
listen,
and
that
they
ain't no-
all tweaked.
Again, perspective, right? And I say we talk a lot of shit, but you can see commitment, right? January 6th, you saw commitment.
Yeah.
Niggas' response to January 6th was, if that was niggas, they would have shot us. You're right. But don't think that white people didn't have that same thought. They just had a thought of, I don't give a fuck.
And that's
I'm
okay.
Committed.
That level is fine. I'm willing to die for some shit I believe in. Not a problem. I'm not willing to set myself on fire for it. That is some over tweaked shit. Or even like when people be like fucking protesting and taking up the expressway. You think they down to get hit by an 18-wheeler?
I've done that before.
Were you down to get hit by an 18-wheeler?
I wasn't even really down to walk on the expressway. I said, how y'all gonna get the cars to stop? How you gonna get the first cars to stop? I know how the 30th car stops, but that first motherfucker,
He's going 60.
you sure?
You go out there first. Jedediah, stop that traffic. Walk out there like motherfucking Prince Hakeem.
Jedediah, use gender bending. He's like an anime character. Oh God. Oh shit.
That should be out of hand, G.
That's funny. But yeah, I did that before, and I was like, y'all sure, bro? Like, because that first car stopping is a bitch, bro. When I was a shorty, you do graffiti and, spray paint the trains and all that stupid shit, right? You don't realize how fast a car's going on the expressway, cuz.
Yeah, you have no idea.
You have no concept.
Until you there, it's like, that's 200 yards away. It is.
It is.
But it's going to be right here
You
in
have
2 seconds, nigga.
This is a true story. I was crossing the expressway.
Oh, I hope they all get hit.
To get to a train yard, right? And like you said, the car might have been 200-300 yards away.
Oh, that's far as hell.
Right?
Okay.
And I was like, I got that. I'm running across, still fast. Man, I had to dive over that
On
motherfucker.
your ass,
He was
boy.
gonna knock my ass. I said, I had this fucked up.
I got to get back too? No, sir.
Yeah, I totally had that fucked up.
No,
So when we walked
sir.
out there on the expressway to stop traffic, I was like, who going first?
I'll tell y'all right now on record, all 6 or 7 times that's happened since I've given a fuck actively, I have not done one. I'm not, that shit crazy. Knock it the fuck off, man.
Yeah, I did it though. Yeah, but I was like 10th in line. Like y'all stopped the first ones and I'd come out.
Yeah.
I wasn't really committed.
No, not exactly ready to get hit by this Mack truck.
I was not really committed.
Fuck that.
You know?
We got to go, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in to this live edition of Herb and 2. Shout out to all of y'all that checked in the comments. We appreciate all of y'all, man. Make sure that y'all hit the like button before you get out of here. Make sure you subscribe to the page and set the alert so you get reminders every time that the page does go live. We are back here. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We are here every Monday, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. We was a little late today. The Comcast internet was out in the entire area. But 1 p.m. Central Time, we are here going live every single Monday. So please tell somebody, man. Tell somebody and tell somebody else. But make sure I hit the like button before y'all go. Appreciate y'all so very, very much for tuning in. We'll be back later this week for a Relationship Friday edition of Herb and 2. Shout out to all of you official dirt bags for checking in on the Patreon. Get your exclusive episode as always this week as well. It was something I wanted to say to you before we got here, but it's too late. I don't even remember what it was. Make sure y'all check out the website. Check out the new merch.
It's herb2.com. Also save the date, man. We're working right now to do a meet and greet. We definitely want to invite all the dirtbags.
May 16th is what we're looking
May
at.
16th is the goal right now. We'll have that either in stone or not in stone, probably by next week.
Yeah, we're gonna do some limited invitations to come out and just hang out in the studio. Probably have some DJ, some food, just some little kickback shit. We're gonna do that on May 16th just for y'all to come out.
Come see the space.
Vibe with us, take some pictures, do some videos, that kind of shit, man. So we eyeing the 16th of May for that. So y'all keep that on y'all's calendars. Again, thank y'all for tuning in. Shout out to P, shout out to Ron, shout out to E. For 2, I'm Herb. Y'all be good to each other. Peace.
Assalamu alaikum.